posture to ear position. What do you do when life breaks you? Not if, when, because life will come for you. It will crush your dreams. It will betray your expectations. It will put death in your family. Posture to ear position, to pullness in your body, doubt in your mind. There will come a moment, maybe it's today, when the weight of everything becomes unbearable. Your job is gone. From posture to ear positioned. Your relationship has collapsed. Your very sense of identity shatters into pieces too small to hold. You stare into the mirror and you don't recognize the thing looking back. Tail position to posture to ear position abyss, not some poetic metaphor, but a real psychological place, a place where hope goes to die, a place where many men drown and never return. Posture to ear position and position. But here's the brutal truth that no one wants to say out loud. If you are not strong, the world will destroy you. If you are not prepared, it will tear you apart. Posture to ear position, and if you do not choose to face this, you will become the very thing you fear. There is no neutrality in suffering. It either transforms you or it devours you. And they're faking it for the tail position. And so you're faced with a single terrible question, and you collapse or will you confront? Because what if, just what if, the pain was never the enemy? To ear position. What if the abyss was the gateway? If you don't face the dragon, it grows in the shadows. Happiness is not the goal. It never was. Happiness is fleeting. Here, if the inner tail position to ear position, it's that brief moment between chaos and collapse. It's fragile, and it evaporates the moment suffering arrives. So stop chasing it, because there's something far more powerful. On every something, the terrorist position to position something deeper, something on responsibility. That's the truth no one tells you in this dopamine soaked culture. You are not meant to be comfortable. Position to posture to ear position. You are meant to carry something heavy, something so meaningful that even the worst suffering can't destroy you. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's a foundation. If you to posture to your positions, it's the act of looking at the chaos of your life and saying, this is mine. Your family's falling apart. Take responsibility. Your career is stagnant. Position to posture your position. Take responsibility. Your heart is broken and you don't know who you are anymore. Take responsibility, because once you choose to carry the load, something miraculous happens. For volition to position, you victim, you stop feeling like a victim. You start asking, why me? And you start asking, what now? That's the moment your suffering begins to serve a purpose. Full everything from the tail position, because if you can carry enough weight, if you can shoulder the cross that was handed to you, you become someone unstoppable. And maybe, for me, position, take him to posture to ear position. Just maybe that burden you've been cursing, so you're calling all along. The world doesn't care about your tears. It doesn't care that you were hurt. To posture to ear position. It doesn't care that you were lied to. It doesn't care that you're exhausted. It moves on without you cold and forgiven to. Now, at first, that truth will break you. Nothing the tail position to ear position, because we're told the world should be fair, that we deserve comfort, that we're victims of circumstance. But that belief, that's the first lie you must burn, because you're to the ear position. Because here's the paradox: the moment you realize the world owes you nothing is the moment you become truly free. When the world stops protecting you, it forces you to adapt. Puts you in a position when no one saves you, you either evolve or perish. Weakness, it gets punished every time. And thank God for that. Because from the tail position to posture, because without that pressure, without that cold indifference, you'd never grow teeth, you'd never rise above mediocrity. Posture the ear position, you'd never feel the urgency to become stronger than your pain. The cruelty of life is not a glitch, it's the crucible. Port from position to posture to ear position, it burns away the parts of you that can't withstand the fire, and what's left is something the world can't break. To the posture to ear position. So when life hits you again, and it will, don't ask for pity. Ask, what part of me needs to die so something stronger can be born, and then eventually it comes for you. Everything from the tail position, and you see, just a life is not some soft padded playground. It's not a place one to hide. It's a mythological battleground, chaos and order, light and dark, forever at war. Position to posture to ear position. You were born straight into it. No warning, no instruction manual, just the deafening scream of existence. Jordan Peterson calls it the eternal tension. On one side, and order, rules, structure, predictability. On the other, chaos, fear, uncertainty, death. Now listen carefully. Chaos is not your enemy. Not the posture to Nofa, and in fact, it's where everything new comes. Clean your room. It sounds like a joke, like some throwaway advice your father yelled when you were 13. Position your position, but it's not a joke. It's the beginning of resurrection. When your room is chaos, your mind is chaos. When your calendar is empty, your heart fills with anxiety. ear position. When your body is neglected position to end, your spirit begins to rot. Disorder outside is a mirror of disorder inside. And every second you let it fester, your life fractures a little more. Toward edification. Jordan Peterson doesn't say clean your room because it's cute. He says because it's foundational. Because if you can't master your immediate environment, how can you ever hope to master anything larger? You want to build a career, a legacy, a family that thrives. Posture to ear possession, apostum. Start with one shelf. Start with one habit. Start with one act of order in a world that is unraveling. Because discipline isn't tyranny, it's salvation. To posture to ear position. Every time you wake up on time, you reject chaos. Every time you make your bed, you push back against despair. Every time you choose structure, you reclaim your sovereignty. Javi over to position, to posture a ear position, and slowly, brick by brick, you stop being the victim of disorder, and you become the architect of a new life. So if your life is falling apart, don't scream into the void. Composition to posture to ear position. Start by sweeping the floor. There's a dragon in your life. Maybe you've never seen it. Maybe you've spent years pretending it isn't real, but it's there. To mission to your ear position in the shadow of your addiction, in the silence of your broken marriage, in the regret you refuse to speak aloud, you know exactly where it lies. And in a postural to ear position, because the dragon always guards the treasure. And what you most need is hidden where you least want to look. That's not poetry. That's a biological reality. Fear in the ear is not just an emotion. A fear isn't just in its direction. It's a signal screaming. Here is the thing you must face. You run from it. You stay weak. You numb it. You stay lost. Position to posture to ear position. You confront it. You grow stronger than you ever imagined. Slaying the dragon doesn't mean you kill the fear. It means you walk into the cave anyway. Pumping from the conversation. It means you have the conversation. Make the apology. Leave the toxic relationship. Start the business you've been terrified to build. And no, there are no guarantees. Dragontar positioned. The dragon will bite. It will scar you. But on the other side of that fire is everything you're looking for. Confidence, courage, capability. High for the person in the position, all of your position, all of it forged in the heat of the battle you keep avoiding. So ask yourself, what is the one you've been running from? Importantly, and letting your position, what your lineup look like, you turn like a charge around and charge B, because until you do, the dragon wins. Every step forward requires something sacred to die. To posture to ear position, you want transformation, you want meaning, then understand this, you cannot become who you could be and remain who you are. It's not possible. There is a cost to greatness. And that cost in position, and that cost is also a sacrifice from the beginning of time. The greatest stories have known this. Abraham places Isaac on the altar. Christ carries the cross. Everything from the hero position to ear position into the underworld, not for glory, but for death and rebirth. Why? Because something inside you must willingly die for something greater to emerge. The telpication to it, you want strength, sacrifice your comfort. You want discipline, sacrifice your distractions. You want meaning, sacrifice your ego. This is the terrible beauty of life. You can't have it all. You must choose. And favorite in a posture to ear position. Every addiction you cling to, every excuse you repeat, every toxic identity you refuse to bury, that's the weight chaining you to your lesser self. Ear position. And until you place it on the altar, your potential stays locked in the basement. So you ask, why am I stuck? But the real question is, and the fisher to ear position, to posture to ear, you sacrificed yet, because until something burns and nothing is reborn, you can endure. You've proven that already. You've taken the hits. And fair provision to kept moving when it hurt like hell. You've learned how to grit your teeth and suffer silently. But here's the truth. No one told you endurance alone will not save you. The Tamir position. Because pain without purpose becomes poison. We live in a culture obsessed with emotional numbness. Be strong, they say. What they really mean is posture to ear position. It'll feel nothing but numbness isn't strength. It's a slow spiritual death, because when you silence your emotions, you don't become powerful. To posture to ear position, you become disconnected from yourself, from others, from truth. Jordan Peterson never preached hollow stoicism. He taught that meaning deep. To ear position. Soul is only antidote to suffering. When you embed your pain inside a mission, it becomes fuel. Ein ear position. When you attach your suffering to a responsibility larger than yourself, it becomes sacred. That's the path of the warrior, not to become emotionless, but to become anchored. Position, posture, then to ear position, and still move forward with clarity. To hurt and still build something with your bare hands. That's not numbness. That's transcendence. position to posture to ear position. So don't just endure your pain. Aim it, sharpen it, use it, because pain alone breaks men. But pain with meaning, that forges legends. There's a part of you don't talk about. To me, your position, the part that rages when you're betrayed, the part that fantasizes about revenge, the part that could hurt, that could dominate, that could destroy. You pretend it doesn't exist. You put on the mask. You play nice, but deep down, there's a monster inside you. Position in your position, and the longer the more power it gains. Carl Jung called it the shadow. Jordan Peterson calls it necessary. Because here's the truth. The capacity for good requires the capacity for evil. If you are harmless, you are not virtuous. You are weak. You are a rabbit pretending to be a lion, and the world knows it. But if you are capable of destruction, if you've confronted that darkness and you choose to master it rather than unleash it, and now you are dangerous in the right way. You're feeling from an ear position, you become disciplined, you become assertive, you become a force the world cannot bend. This doesn't mean you become violent. Tub the tail position, ear position. It means you become so powerful that violence is unnecessary. You walk into rooms and people feel it, not because you bark at from the ear position, because they know you've seen your own darkness and refuse to be ruled by it. So ask yourself, are you harmless or are you good and dangerous? Because until you face your shadow, it owns you. Creativity, growth, strength, all of it is forged in the unknown. But here's the twist. If you pretend it doesn't exist, you don't stay safe, you stay weak. And weakness in a world ruled by dragons is a death sentence. Chaos is not optional. Favoring to position into the posture to youth position, it is coming whether you're ready or not, and only power you have is to walk into it voluntarily. That means confronting your fears before they devour you. To posture to that your position, it means seeking out discomfort before it finds you at your lowest. It means looking straight at the monster under the bed and saying, I see you. I'm not running anymore, because what lies beyond fear isn't death. It's rebirth. There is a voice in your head, and it is relentless. Eel position to enough, you'll never change. Why should I even try? That voice cool-held, calculating, cruel is you. Not all of you, but the worst part of you. And fiction, the coward, the addict, the manipulator, the weakling who fears responsibility but disguises it as rationality. You see, the real war is not out there. To applying to the threat position of Fosher, it's in the architecture of your own mind. And if you don't learn to master it, you become its prisoner. You are both the tyrant and the slave, the abuser and the abused. To ear position, to posture, the builder and the saboteur, Jordan Peterson says, you must learn to treat yourself as someone you are responsible for helping. Position to posture, position to ear position. And that starts by separating from the voice of destruction. It starts by standing up to your own inner critic. It starts by building discipline, not shame. Because self-hatred and masquerades as realism, but it's just fear, afraid of what you could become. The truth, you are terrifying, not because you're broken, but because tail position, deep down, you know what you're capable of. But that version of you doesn't arrive by accident. He must be forged in silence, in sweat, in resistance. This is the daily war. You fear Kyvril position to ear possess you, and no one else can fight it for you. But if you win, the world will never break you again. Every time you take the easy way out, something inside you dies. Tail position to posture to ear position. It's quiet, it's invisible. That subtle shrinking of the soul when you hit snooze, when you scroll instead of work, when you numb instead of face. Turn it into posture to ear position. And here's the brutal truth. The comfort you're clinging to is the prison keeping you from becoming who you were born to be. Easy lives make soft men. Posture to ear positioned in what positions. Powerful soft men break when the storms, but legacy is forged in fire. You don't build a name by running from resistance. You build it by walking straight into the flame. To position, to posture to ear position. Jordan Peterson says, if you fulfill your obligations every day, you don't need to worry about the future. That's not just moral advice, that's strategy. Position to ear position, because the man who chooses the hard path, who gets up early, trains when he's tired, works when others party, that man becomes undeniable. He earns his strength. Contempt earns his position. He earns his peace. He earns his future. You want to be respected, admired, remembered, then suffer on purpose, sacrifice who you are for who you could be. When they're from is and then when the rest of the warbles in comfort, you'll be the one left standing. So ask yourself, will you chase dopamine or will you build something eternal? To be your position, you've died before, but in spirit, in silence, in the slow erosion of identity that happens when you break and no one notices. View the tail position to ear if you've stared at the ceiling at 3 a.m., wondering if this is it, if the best of you is already gone, if there's anything left to salvage, and yet here you are, breathing. Everything the tail position to posture to ear position, bleeding, still standing. You've burned everything to the ground. Good, because now you get to rise. The phoenix doesn't fear the fire. Free from furnishings. It becomes this is the final truth Jordan Peterson whispers between the lines of every lecture. You are not finished. You are not defeated. You are becoming posture to your position, and becoming is brutal. It requires the death of who you were, the funeral of your false identities, the incineration of comfort, addiction, and illusion. And there's more position, but when the smoke clears, when the ashes settle, what rises is something unkillable, a man forged in truth, sharpened by suffering, hardened by discipline. Ours for the position, and reborn through responsibility, not perfect but powerful, not fearless, but dangerous for the right reasons. So let the old you die, let him burn upon him, because beneath the ruin there is a king waiting to rise. And now it's time